Welcome to Digging In with Gardenstead. Today we're welcoming Jazmin Albarran, the Executive Director of Seed Your Future, to our podcast. Seed Your Future is an organization dedicated to promoting horticulture and inspiring people to pursue careers working in this space. So I'm going to read something off of your website. It says, Seed Your Future envisions a world where everyone understands and values the importance of plants and the people who work in the art, science, technology, and business of horticulture. Well, this is very exciting. Welcome to the Gardenstead podcast, because we are all about all of those things as well. Okay, Jazmin, it is Green Career Week this week. It's very exciting. Why don't I just turn it over to you to tell us what Green Career Week is all about?
Perfect. Thank you for having us. We are excited to be here and being able to connect with your listeners and share about Seed Your Future and the things that we have going on. So that's correct. It is Green Career Week. And during my time with Seed Your Future, I've heard from the industry professionals say that they found their jobs by accident or as second career because they were not aware of all of the opportunities there are working with plants and flowers, not to mention positions in HR, accounting, marketing, logistics, and business. This industry is a business and it needs all those careers for it to be successful. I also heard
It's so much more than just, the obvious people with their hands in the dirt, isn't it? There's a huge back system of possibilities.
Oh, absolutely. And the supply chain associated with getting a plant from A to plant B and the amount of years that it takes to grow the plant and trial the plant. By the time the public sees it, that plant is like 20 years in the making. And the public doesn't realize all of that, right? And how many families and careers are touching that one plant that they bought.
Mhm.
So I also
Absolutely.
heard that businesses wanted to connect with local schools, but they didn't know how. It seemed very overwhelming to them. So we created Green Career Week with resources for the industry to make those connections. This campaign is meant to give the industry a louder voice and give them the tools needed to connect with future employees in their backyard, right? Like your listeners. The idea is that we'll make more people aware of these careers in horticulture, floriculture, and agriculture companies, and what are those careers associated with the companies.
Right. Now, you and I know, because we're in the middle of it, there are many different paths that somebody can take to get into this category as a career. There's, through formalized education, there's work experience. Why don't we just talk a little bit about the roundabout ways that people find themselves in our space?
Right. And there's, as you mentioned, so many ways. There are positions for individuals with a high school education through a PhD and vocational tech students. And wherever you are, you can find a career. So look into your local garden center, public garden, landscaper, florists, supply companies, growers, and wholesalers. Like they're literally in your backyard, but people just aren't aware. And they're all eager to hire.
hmm And I know we do a lot of work with schools and school programs trying to get gardening education in at a young age. What you're talking about, though, is not necessarily just educating the kids on what they can be when they grow up. This is also something that applies to a more mature person. I'll be very candid and say, it wasn't until midlife that, as a mature career changer, if that's something I can call myself, that I found myself in a green career. And so it's never too late to follow your passion. Yes, as a child, we will teach everyone what opportunities are out there as they're making their decisions, but this is something that is not just resigned to them. This is adults, older people, people who have already had established careers. Um, you're out there saying there is still room for you in this space.
Oh, absolutely. So, Seed Your Future, we start educating those middle schoolers about careers in the industry. But there are many that all of a sudden have always had that passion, but didn't realize those careers were there, right? So, you can find a second and third career in this industry based on that passion. Most people aren't necessarily encouraged to come into this industry, right? You're pushed into being a doctor, a lawyer, a nurse, a teacher, all very important careers, but no one is saying be a horticulturist. No one is saying you can work and experience plants and flowers every day and make money. And that's
Yeah.
what Seed Your Future wants to change. We want to let people know that from early on, students to those that are in college and those that are changing their careers or looking for a change, there is a job for you here as well.
What kinds of challenges have you encountered with Seed Your Future's mission to get people into horticultural careers?
The challenge that we have found is that people don't realize how complex this industry is. People think about horticulture as something more of a hobby, not necessarily a career. And Seed Your Future wants to change that. We want students, parents, teachers, and society to know that these plant careers are diverse, they're fulfilling, they're challenging, and they are professional. And again, also making sure that people are aware that it's not just the careers touching the plants or touching the produce. There is so much more behind it. So we're working on trying to highlight all of those different careers. And you can be a scientist. You can develop communication content for companies. You can install lighting or irrigation systems in a greenhouse, oversee drone usage, work in transportation, or create the next generation of plant containers. You can also be a
Wow.
part of the education team at a public garden. You can use plants for healing and horticulture therapy, or you can be a writer for a publishing company. I mean, the possibilities are endless, and the public has no idea that whatever their passion is, whether it's writing or therapy, you can find that career in this space as well. And you're doing it with these beautiful products. Working surrounded by plants and flowers, it's just a whole nother way of working day to day.
It's a feel good space, isn't it? It's absolutely
Absolutely.
a feel good space. This is all really timely, too. We're assuming that there is a growing need for people in horticulture given, you know, the climate crisis, given our issues with biodiversity. And so, for anyone who feels perhaps at this point in time um, a little discouraged or a lot frustrated and or scared, you can channel that and you can put that into creating a career for yourself to address these issues. And I think there's going to be more and more need to do this. And so I am so happy to be here exposing our community to you and your organization's purpose, because we want more people in this industry. We need more people in this industry. And so we will support you however we can, in order to do that.
For work experience, I think it would be good for your audience to know that depending on the position, you can enter the industry with little or alternative experience. Businesses are hiring for passion and willingness to learn. This is a hard work, but it's fulfilling. So we need people that are willing to take on the challenge of growing and highlighting these beautiful products. I don't have a green thumb. I kill every plant that I have, no matter how much I try. And I'm not, my background is not horticulture. My background is in mental health and youth development. And here I am, executive director of Seed Your Future. And when I was asked to apply, I didn't know that I was the best candidate because I knew nothing about the industry. I grew up loving plants and by all means trying to keep them alive, but knew nothing. And I was told the industry would teach you all that you need to know about plants. You have that background in outreach and strategy and communications and youth development that this position needs to highlight the industry. And They were absolutely correct. The industry professionals have gone out of their way to teach me about the industry needs and the seasonality, so that I understand their needs and then can really strategize how Seed Your Future will help them. So, really, even, it's beyond just having the passion of liking plants and gardening. That's it, right? The industry will teach you what you need to know to be a part of it. You already have that first piece of what's needed is to believe in that these plants can really impact our physical, mental, and emotional health.
Well, thank you for sharing kind of your story on how you got here. I think I have a similar one to disrupt anybody's thinking that you have to have been in this for your entire life and know everything about it. So I am a marketer, I'm a communicator, and a brand builder by design. And I am here really being embraced by the community and learning and growing. And I find that plants are just such a great connector, period, that it's satisfying for teacher and learner to get out there and just learn more about it. So none of this, I had a terrible brown thumb before this, and I was killing things. I'm not killing as many things anymore. I guess that is the positive. Um, but I don't necessarily need to focus on that in order to be a part of the community, in order to be a part of the horticulture as a career. So, there's you and I, two of us having a chat that it probably is outside of where people thought we needed to come from. So we accept everybody from all different kinds of departments and talents.
Absolutely. And I was told by an industry professional, because I used to feel bad for killing so many plants, right? Because they're living things. It hurts. But they were like, no, 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 no. The industry needs more people like you. The more they kill, the more you buy. I'm like, oh, okay. I have my purpose here then. Perfect. I will keep trying. And even if I kill another one, which I will still feel bad about, at least I will be very happy on my way to my local garden center as I buy a new plant for my living room.
For sure. Well, we at Gardenstead we have gardeners from all walks of life and at all stages of their gardening journey, and so we have been talking about actually promoting within our community, kind of the killer of the week, who killed their plant this week, and making it not this shameful necessarily thing, but instead um, a reason to educate and just a reason to show that this is not a perfect science and this is kind of a passion on a spectrum of outcomes, of which killing a plant can be one of them. And it's just a reality. We're not going to pretend that nobody kills plants over here.
Right.
Now, Jasmine, where should people go to get more information around Green Career Week, about green careers in general? Where should they go?
So on our website at seedyourfuture.org, we have tons of information related to Green Career Week. On our social media platforms, we're on Twitter, Instagram, social media, and LinkedIn. They can follow the hashtag Green Career Week and Green Career Week 22 to look at all of the posts that the companies are doing. So we ask the companies to highlight their staff, their positions, their locations, their company culture, right? We really want to give students and those potential career changers an idea of what it would look like and feel like to work in this industry. So we're excited about, all those posts that companies are going to be doing. And then on our website, listeners can also find a variety of different resources. We list over 100 different career profiles within the industry. Each one of those career profiles has a description, an image. We share salary information. We link out to professional organizations someone within that career should be connected to. There is a YouTube video to give you a day in the life of this career. And if we know of any job board where you can find that job, we link to a job board. So we're not just talking about the careers, but we're hoping to make those connections and bring in more people into the industry. We also list industry internships. So anyone that might be wanting to learn more and get their feet wet through an internship, we list over 300 on our website, along with industry scholarships. So those are for those that are wanting to go into higher education. They can apply through different company websites, and we try to list it. So Seed Your Future wants to be a hub of information for those that are interested in the plant sciences, like your one-stop shop to learn and be connected to the industry.
Wonderful. We're so excited to have learned about your organization. I'm so happy to have been hopefully able to help with your purpose, because it's something we all stand behind, absolutely. And I hope this podcast has helped anyone who's interested and curious about getting into a green career. We will also link to Seed Your Future in our article, and we'll have other ways on our website that people can get in touch with you and your organization, Jasmine. And for those of you in our audience who are already working in horticulture, we hope you'll share your story in the comments below this episode, because we'd love to hear about it. And I'm sure there are others who would love to hear about you and what you're doing in your career as well. So thank you, Jasmine, for being here. Thank you and your organization for really pushing this and promoting this. And everybody out there in Plant Podland, we'll see you next time.
Bye. Thanks for having us.